Hello and welcome our blood viewers to RTD's News English edition. As usual, we bring to you the major and top highlights of tonight. The Secretary of State for Sports attends the closing ceremony of the Rwanda Summer Tournament in Tajura. Somalia and IGAD organize a conference on the issuance of new identity cards for refugees. And on the international scene, 11 militaries since dawn, the UN officially declares a famine in Gaza. Those were the major and top highlights. Welcome back to our news from our blood viewers. The Rwanda Summer Football Tournament reached its conclusion this Thursday afternoon on the Sora Field, now in its sixth edition, held in honor of the late Demha, prominent local sports figure and staunch defender for youth. The competition lived up to all expectations. Launched in early June, the tournament brought together teams from Rwanda, Djibouti City, and Tajura. Offering weeks of passion and popular fervor, the eagerly awaited final opposed FC Awali and FC Daba in front of packed stands and an electric atmosphere. Both teams delivered an intense duel. After a balanced first half, FC Awali finally found a breakthrough in the second half, scoring the only goal of the match. This historic goal secured the club's first ever victory in the prestigious Demha tournament. The closing ceremony was attended by several dignitaries, including the Secretary of State for Sports, Mr. Hassan Mohammed Kamil, and the General Director of AMPS, Mr. Ahmed Ali, and the SES Regional Director, Mr. Umar Hassan Abdullahi. In his address, the Secretary of State emphasized that the annual tournament is far more than a competition. It perpetuates the legacy of Demha, a man who left his mark through his devotion to the youth. He also drew attention to the condition of the Sora field, calling for its urgent rehabilitation to provide the youth of Rwanda with infrastructure that matches their ambitions. With this visit, the Secretary of State for Sports reaffirmed its support for the development of the regional sport and above all the promotion of local talent. As part of the summer activities organized by the International Organization of the Francophonie to its regional Francophone Center for Africa, the Leable Mostikeur Community Development Center hosted more than 60 young girls and boys on the afternoon of Thursday, August 21st, 2025. The event was dedicated to French language, culture, and living together. The meeting began with a welcome for all the participants, followed by the opening remarks from the center's manager. A detailed presentation of the OIF and SERFA helped the youth better understand the mission on both institutions. They took part in an interactive quiz accessible on their phones about Francophonie in the French language. Winners received prizes. The afternoon continued with a rich and varied cultural program highlighting local talents through signing, dancing, and poetry performance. The event ended with official thanks and a group photo. This initiative is part of SERFA's ongoing summer activities. After conducting several workshops in Bil'Aus between June and July, the team visited various community development centers, including the Hajdide, Layable Mostikeur, and Arhiba in collaboration with CLAC. And also took part in the workshop organized at the APIFA on the occasion of the International Youth Day. The aim of these activities is to promote the teaching and learning of the French language while encouraging the discovery of the Francophone world in all its cultural richness and linguistic diversity. So far, around 200 young people have been engaged through these activities and initiatives. The SREFA team expressed its deep gratitude to the Ministry of Youth and Culture, as well as to all the community development centers for their valuable support and constant commitment to the youth. Since taking office as President of Djibouti in 1999, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh has shaped his mandate through dynamic and strategic diplomacy, restoring Djibouti's image on the international stage, and his leadership enabled the country to play an important role in regional and global affairs. Djibouti has deepened its relations with major powers such as France, the United States, and China, thanks to its strategic location at the entrance to the Red Sea and near the Gulf of Aden. Djibouti became a key partner. Relations with the U.S. were notably marked by the presence of Camp Lemonnier, the American military base central to counter-terrorism operations. His peace and security-oriented diplomacy also brought world powers such as China, Japan, Italy, and Germany to establish a presence in Djibouti. President GILL has supported international initiatives against extremism, working closely with regional and global security organizations to bolster stability. He also enhanced Djibouti's influence within the African Union and the Arab League, promoting Horn of Africa interests and continental initiatives in development and security. Through IGAD, he strengthened Djibouti's role in regional conflict mediation, development, and humanitarian response. His efforts helped foster regional cooperation to face piracy, border security, and crisis challenges. On the economic front, the president actively sought foreign investment to boost Djibouti's economic, and notable achievements include infrastructure partnerships with China, such as the Dorali port and the Djibouti-Ethiopia Railway, consolidating Djibouti's stature as a regional trade hub. He constantly championed regional integration and served as mediator in key conflicts, including intra-Somali and South Sudanese dialogues, positioning Djibouti as a platform for peace talks in the Horn of Africa. In sum, President Gell's diplomatic achievements showcase his use of diplomacy as a powerful tool to reinforce Djibouti's role on the world stage, attract investment, foster cooperation, and promote stability across the region. And now let's watch a special edition on the importance of infrastructure and tourism development. Welcome to the beautiful land of Djibouti, a country known for its rich cultural, breathtaking landscapes and impressive infrastructures. Located in the Horn of Africa, Djibouti is a small nation with big ambitions. Its strategic location along the Red Sea has made it a gateway for international trade and hub for regional connectivity. Djibouti boasts a world-class infrastructure that have positioned it as a key player in global logistics. Its state-of-the-art ports, such as the Port of Djibouti, serve as virtual gateways for goods flowing between Africa, Asia, and Europe. The country has invested significantly in its transportation networks, including modern highways, railways, and an expanding air transportation system. The newly constructed Addis Ababa-Djibouti Railway has greatly facilitated trade and connectivity between Djibouti and its neighboring countries. Djibouti's capital city, also named Djibouti, showcases the country's impressive urban development. It is home to modern skyscrapers, bustling markets, and a vibrant cultural scene. Moreover, Djibouti takes pride in its commitment to renewable energy. The country has embraced solar power, harnessing its abundant sunlight to provide clean and sustainable energy for its people. But it's not just about the infrastructures. Djibouti is a country brimming with natural wonders. From the otherworldly landscapes of Lac Assal, the lowest point in Africa, to the breathtaking beaches along the coastline, Djibouti offers a unique and unforgettable experience for nature lovers. Djibouti's infrastructures, coupled with its warm hospitality and rich cultural heritage, make it an ideal destination for investment, tourism, and collaboration. The future looks bright for Djibouti as it continues to grow and prosper on the global stage. Join us in discovering the wonders of Djibouti, where modern infrastructures meet natural beauty. Djibouti, the land of opportunities and endless possibilities. The Somali government, in close cooperation with the Intergovernmental Authority on Development (IGAD), hosted a 3-day conference in Mogadishu to review the mechanisms for issuing new identity cards to refugees living in Somalia. The conference focused on accelerating the distribution process launched earlier this year to ensure the refugee and asylum seekers receive official legal recognition, enabling access to basic social services. Participants praised Somalia's key role in hosting thousands of refugees fleeing war-torn countries, despite its own security and institutional challenges. The final report stressed that the Somali government, together with IGAD, is committed to developing sustainable solutions for refugee settlement and ensuring their appropriate legal status. The event gathered representatives of the Somali Ministry of Interior, the National Agency for Refugees and Internally Displaced Persons, federal governments, the IGAD mission in Mogadishu, as well as several international organizations specializing in refugee protection. In his opening remarks, Deputy Minister of Interior, Mr. Sadat Noor, reaffirmed the government's commitment to providing refugees with official documents ensuring access to essential services. IGAD's head of mission in Somalia, Mr. Mahmoud Gharshi, assured that the organization would continue supporting refugees and asylum seekers estimated to number in the tens of thousands in the capital and across the country. Closing the conference, the head of the National Agency for Refugees and IDPs, Mr. Ahmed Hussein, announced the launch of training programs for field agents who will be deployed in the regions to formally register refuge and issue the new identity cards. The Kenyan government has implemented stricter measures following incidents involving reckless tourists in the Masai Mara Reserve. The decision came after viral videos showed visitors dangerously leaving their vehicles in approaching wildlife during the Great Annual Migration. The footage, filmed near Burgrad Gate, a recently flooded area, sparked outrage nationwide. It showed tourists standing only a few meters from large mammals, a situation deemed highly dangerous for both humans and wildlife. Kenyan Minister of Tourism and Wildlife Rebecca Minau reacted firmly by announcing a safety action plan for national reserves. Speaking from Japan during TCAD 9, she declared the future of tourism in Kenya depends on our ability to guarantee both visitor safety and biodiversity preservation. The government plan in Kenya, developed with NARC authorities and the Kenyan Wildlife Service, is based on 4 pillars. Stronger enforcement and rules inside reserves, increased ranger deployment in high traffic areas, legal accountability for tour agencies and guides in case of violations, awareness campaigns promoting responsible tourism with educational signs and messages, and key sites. The Great Wild-Beast Migration, often called the eighth wonder of the world, attracts hundreds of thousands of visitors each year. The ministry stressed that protecting Masai Mara's global reputation requires collective responsibility. Authorities, tour operators, and visitors must all act responsibly to safeguard this unique ecosystem. On 28th of August 2025, the African Union has announced the extension of its strategic partnership with the International Organization for Migration for 3 more years, aiming to strengthen migration governments across the African continent. The extension was formalized during the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, reflecting the commitment of both organizations to ensuring migration contributes to development, stability, and prosperity in Africa. This partnership builds on cooperation first established in 2022 and seeks to position migration as a driver of inclusive growth and sustainable development. It also provides a roadmap for coordinated work between the IOM and the African Union, ensuring the African member states have the tools and support they need to manage migration flows in line with continental priorities and international communities. The partnership underscores the importance of coordination between international and regional organizations in managing migration and contribution to advancing the sustainable development goals in Africa. For more information, readers may consult the official website of the African Union or the International Organization for Migration. On the 686th day of the war of extermination against Gaza, 11 Palestinians, including 3 children, were killed at dawn in Israeli strikes on several areas of enclave. Warnings stress that the planned invasion of the Gaza city represents a death sentence and displacement for 1.2 million people, calling for a firm international stance to curb Israeli aggression and stop the plan. Politically, 21 European countries issued a strongly worded statement condemning Israel's approval of the so-called E1 settlement project east of occupied Jerusalem. They urged Tel Aviv to immediately reserve this dangerous expansion decision which fuels violence. The UN also stressed that Gaza now has the higher number of child amputees in the world. According to Judith Arnold, the global hunger monitoring body, the IPC, backed by the UN, is expected to announce this Friday before the Security Council the existence of famine in Gaza, first since the war began nearly 22 months ago. The paper notes that such an announcement could open the door to new international pressure on Israel. The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights also warned that famine now threatens the entire Gaza Strip due to continued Israeli restrictions on humanitarian aid and intensified military attacks, forcing more Palestinians to flee. This declaration is based on the Integrated Food Security Phase Classification, an international recognized mechanism for accessing food insecurity and malnutrition. Since its creation in 2004, it has only been used 4 times to officially declare famine. The most recent began in Sudan last year. According to reports, the declaration will cover Gaza government, including Gaza City, 3 neighboring towns, and several refugee camps home to around 500,000. Bridging a review by the Telegraph noted that more than 500,000 people in Gaza Strip are now living in catastrophic conditions marked by hunger, depression, and death. The president of the COP30 climate conference, Andre Correa do Lago, warned of deep divisions among governments over emission reduction plans, stressing that the overcoming disagreements is essential to achieving concrete results at the upcoming UN summit scheduled for November in Belém, Brazil. In an open letter, he affirmed his determination to create all conditions for frank and constructive dialogue, emphasizing the collective responsibility to steer the world back toward a viable future. This requires a net reduction of global emissions by 60% by 2035 compared to 2019 levels. He pointed out that some stakeholders believe the lack of ambitions is tied to the global stock take conducted every 5 years, while announcing that a series of consultations, including all parties, will be launched in the coming weeks. According to the negotiations timetable, updated plans must be presented by September, with the UN publishing in October a report assuring progress towards the 2030 and 2035 targets. The 2024 report revealed that the current commitments would only reduce emissions by 2.6% by 2030, far below the 43% reduction needed to limit warming to 1.5 Celsius. Hundreds of households affected by no facilities reported. Authorities urge vigilance over ongoing risks. After sweeping along the U.S. East Coast, Hurricane Erin is now moving northeast across the Atlantic, leaving behind a North Carolina marked by significant flooding. While the storm did not reach the feared destructive levels, its impact was nonetheless serious in several regions. Making a landfall briefly Tuesday evening as a Category 1 hurricane, Erin brought torrential rains and winds up to 130 kilometers per hour. New Hanover, Brunswick, and Carteret counties were among the hardest hit, with floods submerging the roads, homes, and infrastructures. Emergency services carried out dozens of rescue of people trapped in vehicles or homes. Local authorities reported more than 12,000 households temporarily lost power. Fortunately, no deaths. Serious injuries have been reported so far. North Carolina Governor Michael Thompson praised the quick response of rescue services and residents' respect for evacuation orders. And last but not least, to conclude our international scene, the U.S. Geological Survey reviewed and reported that a powerful 7.5 magnitude earthquake struck the Drake Passage off the coast of Chile early Friday morning. According to the agency, there is no tsunami risk following the quake, which occurred at 10:16 p.m. local time at a depth of 10.8 kilometers. Initially, the USGS has announced a magnitude of 8, but later revised it, specifying that the quake occurred at a depth of 11 kilometers. The epicenter was located more than 700 kilometers southeast of Ushuaia, Argentina, a city of around 57,000 inhabitants. Well, by this, our beloved viewers, we finally conclude this edition. Thank you for being with us, and make sure to tune in later for more as usual. Have a wonderful evening and take care. Thank you.